Welcome to our channel. Today we are going to study a science subject known as chemistry. The part of chemistry that we will study is called radioactivity. We'll study this radioactivity with questions and answers for a better understanding. The first question we have here says, the process whereby unstable atomic nucleus breaks down and releases radiation is best described as dash. A. Radioactivity. B. Mole. C. Periodicity. D. Electronic configuration. In this question, the correct answer is A. Radioactivity. Radioactivity is a process whereby there is spontaneous emission of radiation from the nucleus of unstable atom. Studies have shown in chemistry that there is a branch of chemistry known as nuclear chemistry. This nuclear chemistry is a branch of chemistry that deals with the study of radioactivity. It's a branch of chemistry where we study unstable atomic nuclei and how they break down to release radiations and energy. So the process whereby an unstable atomic nucleus breaks down and releases radiation is called radioactivity. The next question says, radioactivity releases dash energy than chemical reaction. A. More energy than chemical reaction. B. Less energy than chemical reaction. C. Zero energy than chemical reaction. D. None of the above. In this question, the correct answer is A. More energy than chemical reaction. Studies have shown that radioactivity is a nuclear process, and during radioactivity, nuclear energy is released. So this radioactivity releases more energy than chemical reaction. The next question says, which of the following factors affects the rate of emission of radioactive radiations? A. Temperature. B. Pressure. C. Light. D. None of the above. In this question, the correct answer is D. None of the above. Research have shown in nuclear chemistry that radioactive radiations are emitted from radioactive atoms without being affected by different external factors like temperature. So, temperature does not affect the rate of emission of radioactive radiation. Pressure does not have effect on the way radiations are emitted from a radioactive source. Even light does not have any effect or does not affect the rate of emission of radioactive radiations. All these factors don't have effect, or these factors don't affect the rate of emission of radioactive radiations. A radioactive nucleus disintegrates spontaneously to emit radiation and energy. The next question says, which of the following is released from a radioactive nucleus? A. Alpha particle. B. Gamma ray. C. Beta particle. D. All of the above. In this question, the correct answer is D. All of the above. Studies have shown in chemistry that there are different radiations emitted from the nucleus of a radioactive atom. One of these is called alpha particle. Gamma ray is also released. Beta particle is also released from the nucleus of a radioactive atom. All these things are facts about the nucleus of a radioactive atom. The next question says, the following are properties of alpha particles except dash. A. They have the same mass with helium. B. They are absorbed by thin paper. C. They are negatively charged particles. D. They are positively charged particles. In this question, the correct answer is C. They are negatively charged particles. Alpha particles are released from the nucleus of a radioactive atom. And studies have shown that alpha particles have the same mass with helium atom. They are absorbed by ordinary thin paper, and these particles are positively charged particles. The next question says, radioactive radiations can be detected and measured using dash. A. Geiger-Müller counter. B. Retort stand. C. Litmus paper. D. Mercury. In this question, the correct answer is A. Geiger-Müller counter. Geiger-Müller counter is a device that is used to detect radiations emitted from a radioactive atom. This Müller counter is used to detect and also measure the radiations released from radioactive sources. The next question says, the following are radioactive elements except dash. A. Uranium. B. Thorium. C. Radium. D. Neon. In this question, the correct answer is D. Neon. There are different examples of radioactive elements. One of the examples of radioactive element is uranium. We have another radioactive element known as thorium. We also have radium and the rest of them. But neon is not a radioactive element. Neon is a noble gas. The next question says, the fast-moving streams of electrons emitted from a radioactive atom are called dash. A. Beta particles. B. Alpha particles. C. Gamma rays. D. Radioisotope. In this question, the correct answer is A. Beta particles. Beta particles are fast-moving streams of electrons emitted from a radioactive atom. These beta particles are electrons that are emitted or released from an unstable nucleus that is degrading or that is breaking down. So beta particle is one of the radiations emitted from a radioactive atom. The next question says, which of the following is not true about alpha decay? A. It is a nuclear process. B. Alpha particle is emitted. C. It decreases the parent nucleus atomic number. D. It increases the parent nucleus mass number. In this question, the correct answer is D. It increases the parent nucleus mass number. Alpha decay is a nuclear process whereby a radioactive atom breaks down to emit an alpha particle. So this alpha decay is a nuclear process, as we have said, and during this process an alpha particle is emitted. Studies have shown that this process decreases the parent nucleus atomic number, but option D is not among the facts here. The next question says, an electromagnetic radiation released from a radioactive source is called dash A. Alpha particle, B. Beta particle, C. Gamma ray, D. Neon. In this question, the correct answer is C. Gamma ray. Gamma ray is an electromagnetic radiation released from a radioactive source. It's one of the radiations emitted from a radioactive atom. The next question says, the radioactive process whereby a parent nucleus changes into another nucleus is best described as dash A. Alpha particle, B. Transmutation, C. Ionization, D. Pulse current. In this question, the correct answer is B. Transmutation. Transmutation is a radioactive process whereby a parent atomic nucleus changes into another nucleus. This is a process that occurs until a stable nucleus is formed. So studies have shown that when a radioactive element breaks down, it can emit a beta particle or a beta particle or even gamma ray. During this process of releasing radiation and energy, the nucleus of that parent atom, the parent nucleus, can change into another nucleus. And this process whereby this parent nucleus changes into another nucleus is best described as transmutation. The next question says, a radioactive element has an atomic number of 92 and a mass number of 238. The neutron number of the element is dash A. 146, B. 222, C. 163, D. 327. In this question, the correct answer is A. 146. In this question, the atomic number of the element is 92 and the mass number is 238. For us to get the neutron number, the mass number means the number of protons and neutrons present in the nucleus of an atom, and atomic number means the number of protons found in the nucleus of an atom. So in this question, the number of protons found in the nucleus of this atom is 92 and the mass number is 238. So when we subtract the proton number from the mass number, we'll get the neutron number. So when we say 238 minus 92, we'll now get this 146. So this 146 is now the neutron number of the elements. The next question says, employees in radioactive laboratories are protected from the toxic effects of radiation by using dash A. Thick laboratory coats, B. Thick blocks of lead, C. Pills daily after work, D. Antibiotics. In this question, the correct answer is B. Thick blocks of lead. Studies have shown that employees working in radioactive laboratories are protected from the harmful effects of radioactive radiation by putting on thick blocks of lead. They wear clothing material made up of lead. So this block of lead absorb the most dangerous radiation known as gamma ray, because if the body system is exposed to this gamma radiation coming out from a radioactive atom, it can cause what we call mutation, and mutation means sudden change in the genetic makeup of an organism. So this radiation can cause cancer, it can cause mutation, it can cause different health challenges in people. So workers or employees that are there in radioactive laboratories are usually shielded. They are usually protected from the dangerous radiation emitted from radioactive materials by using thick blocks of lead, because lead has the ability of absorbing gamma ray, which has the highest penetrating power among other radiations emitted from a radioactive nucleus. So any researcher or any scientist that wants to explore the nature of radioactive materials need to protect himself or herself with clothing materials made with lead or thick block of lead, as the case may be. The next question says, which of the following scientists discovered basic nuclear radiation? A. Boyle, B. Newton, C. Becquerel, D. Faraday. In this question, the correct answer is C. Becquerel. There is a great scientist called Henry Becquerel. This scientist worked with uranium. He worked with a radioactive element known as uranium, and as he was working with uranium, God exposed him to the nuclear contents of this uranium. This scientist discovered that the nucleus of this uranium was unstable, and the nucleus was breaking down to emit some particles in form of radiation. So this scientist discovered the basic nuclear radiation. He contributed immensely in nuclear chemistry. If this is the first time you are watching our video, if this is the first time you are joining this channel, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this channel so that you can study other topics that we have treated in many of our videos. In this channel, we make educational videos in science subjects.